Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Community Candor event. We are excited to present to you today New Year, New You, New Ways to Earn Money. This is really exciting for us because every year an organization called CEDAM puts on something called Show Me the Money Day. And this is our first year participating. We have some wonderful sponsors, including TCS, Level One, Consumers Energy, and CEDAM. We have a wonderful panel for us today, and we're going to ask each of our speakers to introduce themselves in just a moment. But I want to give you a little bit of insight about why we're here. Financial education is something that is extremely important and something that we support as an organization. As a nonprofit, we do a lot of work in the community, including affordable housing, economic opportunity, and a lot of innovative and creative programs. When we were first notified that we couldn't meet in person due to COVID, we pivoted really quickly and started doing online sessions, particularly about financial education. And I believe this is around, we're getting close to our 20th session that we've held. And we've gotten great feedback from people about being able to save money, being able to earn more money, and learning how to manage what's available to them. So our guest today, we'll start with Leasia. If you could tell us who you are and just a little snippet about your company.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laisha Johnson. I'm the CEO of LJ Essentials. LJ Essentials is an all natural skin, hair, and beard care company with a primary focus on providing all natural, clean, safe, and effective products for Black women.
All right, Lori, if you could just tell us who you are and then a little bit about just a little teaser about what you're going to be sharing with us today.
My name is Lori Ross. I am the Special Event and Venue Coordinator for Communities First. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about shopping and how you can save money towards purchases that you're already going to make.
Thank you. Marjorie, could you tell us why we've asked you to be here today?
Hi, I'm Marjorie Babers. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, and I was asked to be here to teach you all a little bit about saving money through couponing.
And then we have representing our sponsor, TCS, Laura Castone. Could you tell us what you're going to be sharing with us today?
Hi, my name is Laura Castone. I am from TCF National Bank. I will be talking to you about products that you can access through your banking institution, as well as saving apps that you can download on your phone to help stack your cash.
So this is going to be a great session to teach us about how to save more money and then also how to earn more money in unique and creative ways. So we're going to start with Marjorie, who's going to talk to us about couponing. So I'm really curious. Can you tell us, how did you get into couponing?
It's crazy because my dad was an avid couponer when I was a kid. However, you don't appreciate those life lessons when you're a kid. So I went through a divorce, and my nail tech trainer actually introduced me to couponing just at her house randomly one day getting my nails done. And ever since then, I've been couponing away.
All right, that sounds great. I do want to, before we continue, to quickly remind folks to complete our registration and also survey. So that is scrolling across your screen right now, and then we'll also make sure that that goes into the comment section so you can quickly click that link. That's going to be really important for a couple of reasons. One, as a result of registering, you will get a recap document of all the things that get shared today, the contact information for our speakers, and you will be entered into a drawing to win a prize. And today we're going to be giving away some of LJ Essentials products as our giveaway. So really exciting. All right, so let's continue, Marjorie, and talk about where can you find the best coupons, and then how do you keep it all organized?
In the beginning stages, I kept my coupons organized in this big pink binder. However, I noticed cashiers would be intimidated because I had all these coupons. So now I pretty much use an envelope system. I'll label each envelope with the store on there and what I plan to get. The coupons are inside that envelope. So that it just works for me that way. I found a lot of people who still, the binder is, their best bet. And for me, I'm just in a lot of different Facebook groups, Instagram groups, my newspapers every Sunday. Just that's how I get coupons, to be honest. And to be honest, my neighbors know I coupon, so they'll all just give me their inserts. And I actually have a lady who will bring me this big stack of newspaper every Sunday from her church. So it's kind of cool.
It sounds like it's kind of exciting. Some people talk about the rush that they get from couponing and the different hauls, if you will, of things that they're able to get. So I'm going to show a couple of pictures of your stockpiles and some of your store receipts.
Absolutely.
Get this up here. All right, so tell us what we are looking at, Mashri.
You're looking at some pictures from my stockpile. This isn't everything. This is just some of the things that I'm most proud of. So that's what these pictures are.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably 20 gallons of bleach, right? So how do you make that work? What happens when you go to the store and you have your coupons? How do you get this stockpile?
Well, most of this stockpile you see here will probably be like the bleach and the Tide and things like that will be from Kroger, which Kroger normally has a mega sale, buy 5, save 5. And they'll have a discounted price already. So maybe they'll put it down for $5.99. Well, if you get 5 items on that sale, then it'll take $1 off of each item, bringing it to $4.99. And then you'll have your $2 coupon, which means you'll get it for $2.99.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I never knew how that worked. I would just see people with the pictures online and they have all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, you got this for how much? And you got this for free? So let's take a look at a couple of other pictures of that you shared. So the clearance hunting at Kroger.
Oh, so I found those crock pots. Actually, that's 2 separate transactions. I go clearance hunting quite often, just no coupons involved, just things that you can get for cheap. Those crock pots, I do believe, were originally $40. And during my clearance hunting, I found them for about $4.99 a piece. And then I had 5 crests, which were $1.99. And I had 5 $2 coupons for that, which made those free. And then on the other side where you see the shoes and the Dows and things, that's my Walmart clearance hunting. No coupons needed, just items that they had on sale after the holidays.
So I love a good deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I go to the store and I see things that are on clearance or on sale, it's really, really tempting to buy it all.
Absolutely.
Can you give us some tips and advice about what we should buy and like maybe what we shouldn't buy?
For me personally, I just always look at the method. If I can't personally use it or someone in my family can't use it or I can't resell it, I won't buy it. I think as couponers, especially in the beginning stages, we feel the need to use a coupon just because we have it. But if it's something that you don't eat or you won't wear or you can't use, at that point, you're wasting money. So I always say just weigh the pros and cons, even if something is $1. If you're not going to use it or eat it or whatever, that's $1 wasted, So I only shop for things that I can use or I can re-gift to like my nieces and nephews and things like that.
Yeah, I love that. Just because you have a coupon does not mean that you need to buy whatever the item is. And just because it's a really good deal, I think Glenn says this all the time. He says, everything is on sale, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're paying $40 for it or $4, does it really matter if it's not something that you need or that you're going to use?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, it's probably not in your best interest to buy. So how can people connect with you if they wanted to take a class or learn more?
If you want to learn more or take a class, I do offer that. Going to get back started with that in the new year through Zoom. I do have a Facebook group called the Saginaw Edition. I am on Facebook, Marsherie Babers, and I'm also on Instagram at Lovely Miss Babers. Feel free to follow me so you can save money.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. So we're going to come back to you in a little bit. We're
Okay,
going
you're
to move on in our conversation and talk with Lori. So I'm going to stop sharing for a quick second. So Lori, we've talked about coupons, and most people are familiar with coupons. But can you tell us more about the different apps and things that in savings clubs that you can sign up for to save money?
Absolutely. Thank you, Essence, for that. So what I do is I utilize every opportunity that I possibly can. I will be totally honest. I am not a person that is frugal or saves money, but I do try to find a great deal whenever I can. So I rely heavily on the apps that the stores provide for you. So my favorite app is going to be the Kroger Plus card or Kroger app. It gives you lots of savings in the line of your groceries as well as their gasoline. If you haven't used their gasoline, if you spend up to $100 per month, you could literally save $1 off. Up to $1,000 per month. You could literally save $1 off of your gas per gallon. So my husband and I use that one all the time because gas prices have been fluctuating higher and higher. But to save $1 or even 50 cents off of a tank of gas is a really good deal. My very favorite store in the world is Target. And Target has a couple of programs that I am fond of. They have the Target Circle, which just recently changed to a new program. Target Circle will allow you to scan your purchases in store. And if there is a coupon or if there's any type of discount that they're offering, it will apply to your Target Circle app. And then Target also is one of the few stores that will provide you with a debit card. So this is attached to your banking or your checking account, and you're spending your money, so it's not credit, but it does save 5% in addition to any other discounts that you may have with your shopping. So this one is really good, especially if you do a lot of shopping at Target. You're going to save 5% off of the top, and then any other discounts that they may provide, you will also have that savings as well. And then another store here, which is new to me because I'm really new to Michigan, but Meijer. Meijer has a program, the same concept. They will offer coupons as well as they will give you cash back after you spend so much money in their store. And it is $100 and you get $2 back. 2%, not bad if you're spending a lot of money in Meijer. And then they also have additional additional coupons that they will offer on a per coupon basis. And then there's another one that I use called Shopkick. Shopkick basically is an app that you download on your phone. Whenever you enter a store, Kroger's on the list, Target's on the list, Walmart's on the list, Home Depot, you automatically get kicks. So kicks can equate to gift cards as well as other opportunities for you. And then if you're an interactive shopper, Shopkick will also have items that you can scan. And then they also give you additional deals for purchases that you make of things that are on their list. So I'm all about getting, Starbucks gift cards or Target gift cards because those are things that are treats for most people. And if you can get it for free, why not? And so just to round it off, I just am a big proponent of any store that you go to, join their loyalty program because they will provide you some information or something free or some savings. And a motto that I have, and I know Essence shares this with me, whenever you're going to a store, ask if there is any additional discounts because sometimes there are coupons or there are discounts, and sometimes people will just give you a discount because you asked. So that is a really major thing, and I think that's a good practice to have and not to be embarrassed about it. And then finally, I'm okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, so it is always important to ask that question, are there any coupons or can I have a discount? And that sounds really, really bold, but it's extremely effective for me, right? And I think about just a few days ago, we had an issue with our garage door, and the guy quoted us a price to fix it. That was great. He came out. Honestly, I don't think he worked long enough to justify the price, but of course I wasn't going to say that, right? I just said to him, you know, when he was writing it up, I said, "Oh, did you apply my coupon?" And he kind of looked at me and he went, "Wait, what coupon? We don't have coupons." And I was just like, "Oh." And I have learned the art of the pause. So I just waited a few seconds and he got really uncomfortable and he said, "Well, let me call my boss and see if he can do better on the price." And when he called the guy and he came back, he said, "Okay, you know what? We can do $35 off your price." And I said, "Okay, that sounds really good. That's perfect." And, you know, and it was great. So that was like a $35 coupon. And I didn't do anything other than ask. So if you're going into Kohl's or any of the stores, sometimes people leave their coupons and they have extra copies or they'll leave copies of the mailers. I always ask, "Do you have any additional discounts or coupons?" Because if a friend of that person were coming through the line, they would probably offer it to them. So I just consider myself to be a friend of everybody who's trying to sell me something. Give me the best deal that you can without, you know, doing anything wrong, right? Don't give me the free French fries when we go through the drive-through because those are not your fries to give away. And Lori, I did hear you say that I think it was something to the effect that you're not a saver. We're going to work on that. So we've got 19 other sessions that you can review, and we're going to work on that. We're going to put that on your goals list for 2021 because saving is extremely important, and then obviously earning more. So we're all thinking about retirement. We're all thinking about financial freedom and independence, and that's how we get there. So we're gonna mentor you in that area, right? Okay, great. And so I know that you wanted to share some other information. I'm going to put up your slide so we can take a look at that. And then we will also drop that registration and survey link back into the comments so you can take a look at that. So we've gone through those apps and sites. And then tell us about some other free resources.
So what I found amazing is I'm a big ebook learner or reader, listener. And I had Audible on my phone and I was talking to a friend of mine and she's like, "Why do you pay for ebooks?" She's like, "Don't you have a library card?" And I'm like, well, that's good. That's really good information. I wish someone had told me this sooner. So I did some research and the Flint Public Library offers a free library card, of course. And with the registration of that free library card, you get access to any free books or any Audible books that they have. So you can actually download these onto your Kindle or any device that you would use, and you can listen to these books for free. And then additionally, for the kids that are children, school-age children in the area, in the Flint, Michigan area, that we are participating in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And what this will do is it will provide children with, and child care providers and teachers with age-appropriate reading materials, so we can really instill that reading into our kids. And then we also have the link there so that you can register for that. And not to leave Detroit out, the Detroit Public Library offers a free library card. Unfortunately, you would have to go in. However, you can once you obtain your library card, you can download Libby, which is an app that will allow anyone in any state the ability to listen or download any online resources, audiobooks, music from any branch, just using your library card. So I thought that was really amazing because a lot of people spend money on ebooks, and this is a way for you to do that without any cost to yourself.
Thank you, Lori, for sharing that information. And I think that's a good representation of how there are lots of things that are out there for us that are free. We just have to do the research and gain an understanding of what those things are. So that means we can get free ebooks, right? Audible books, but then also with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, children under the age of 5 get one free book per month for 5 years in that program. And it's just a great community resource that it just takes you the time to sign up, and then those books come every month. And I think you could apply that to, again, any area of your life. You can do it either cheaper or find ways of getting things for free. Something definitely to keep in mind. I just want to give Moncherie an opportunity. Were there any other apps that you would like to share that you think those that are watching would benefit from?
For me, I use the Flip app, FLIPP. It gives me a breakdown of each store, like their weekly deals. Whether you're a couponer or you're not, it'll still show you everything that's on sale if you just put that store in the search engine. And I also use Ibotta and Fetch rewards. Just scan your receipt, and sometimes you get points that eventually turns into money that you can, I think up to like at $100 you can actually cash out. So those are just the others that I saw, because I use all the ones that she mentioned as well.
Great. So those apps come into play and they're really important. And again, it goes back to what we said before. If there are things that you are already going to purchase or that you already need, it makes perfect sense to utilize those apps and get a good deal. So we're going to transition just a little bit to talk with our banking partner, Laura Castone, about different things that financial institutions offer to monitor our spending habits, and then also to round up for savings, and kind of setting alerts and different tools that might exist within TCF or in banking in general.
Thank you, Essence. So, not to plug any specific lending institution and not even TCF, but just a general search on the web, Google or any search engine that you use will help you to discover many of those savings tools that your banking institution specifically or local banking institutions currently offer. So as Essence indicated, banks are getting more technologically savvy. They are, definitely looking at more bonus opportunities and ways to incentivize their customers. So, basic savings and checking accounts have now, new add-on features that banks have added. There are new roundup features that some banks offer. So they will give you essentially the change of your transaction, placed back into your account or into savings. Some institutions will actually take that change from a transaction and place it into a savings account. Other institutions offer budgeting apps. Others provide, as Essence mentioned, alerts that you can place on your account to let you know when you've exceeded a certain balance, when you saved a certain balance. And so definitely keep those in mind. There are some great organizations and individuals on this, call talking about ways to save money. And so now that you're saving this money, what are you doing with it, right? Now that you have these funds available, again, savings and checkings are some standard ways that you can save money. Unfortunately, they offer very nominal interest back to you for your savings into those accounts. Maybe you could look at vehicles like a certificate of deposit, which we call a CD, which will give you a much higher interest rate when you're looking to save money for a longer period of time. There's also options like money market accounts, which act very similarly to checking accounts, but because you are saving a larger lump sum of money, will give you back a greater amount of interest. So those are some standard vehicles that are currently offered in the bank. We are now getting into more bonus offers. So if you hold money longer into your account, when opening the account, or if you're an existing customer, a bank will offer you, $200 and $300 if you, maintain that savings amount for a particular amount of time. So these are all good vehicles to use as your savings account builds. You can look at more advanced opportunities to begin saving money, moving into, ETFs, moving into, investment accounts, and many of these apps or I should say many of these products are, easily available on apps on your phone. And so as we're talking about apps, as we're talking about conveniences, because we live in, a place of convenience right now, as Marjorie indicated, sites like Ibotta, sites like Chime and Truebill and Trim, all of these apps will, in some way give you back dollars for money that you saved, or, compound, the cents of monies that you have spent with an institution. Other apps like Simple and Digit and Acorn and Stash and Mint, those are really good sites that will help you stash away the money that you are now saving. Some of those sites will invest your dollars into the stock market and double your earnings. Other of those sites will help you manage your finances and make sure that you are staying on budget. So definitely a lot of tools out here that we can use. And again, just a simple site search for, money saving opportunities with your bank, simple conversation with your banking institution, and they can reveal so many different opportunities for you. So don't forget to ask.
I'm hearing that as a running thing. Don't forget to ask. If you already have an established relationship with a banking institution, know what they offer, and that is the range from tools to help you save, tools to help you understand and track your spending, all the way through different vehicles that they may offer for investment. So, we operate on a spectrum, right? Everybody is somewhere different, but these are all tools for us to maximize our financial resources. So thank you, Laura, for sharing those very important tools. And hopefully we'll all watch the replay, catch those different apps, or take the time and take the opportunity to actually go ahead and do the registration and survey. Because if you do that, you will get a summary sheet that gives you all of these resources that were referenced so far. And that'll make it really easy for you to just click on it and then go to it and see which ones you want to use. So now we're going to transition and we're going to talk about how else we might want to make money, right? So we've talked about saving, we've talked about tracking and investing, and now we're going to talk about one way of many to earn more money. So we're going to hear from Laisha. And so she started LJ Essentials. And can you just give us a little background and a little history on how you started your company and why?
So LJ Essentials was born in 2017, really as a means for me to provide products for myself. LJ Essentials really began as a hobby. I wanted products that smell good, that worked, and were safe enough for my sensitive skin. And I wasn't able to find those in most of the stores I was visiting, especially in our area. We all know that resources here are limited in some areas. So when I was looking for natural skincare that fit all of the criteria, I wasn't able to find exactly what I was looking for. So I started creating things for myself. And long story short, it really grew into a booming business very quickly. I was creating things as a hobby, sharing it with my friends and family. And they were spreading the word of mouth, giving it to their coworkers, sharing it with their friends. And before I knew it, I was getting orders for products that I had just created at home for myself in my kitchen. I didn't have any branding. I didn't have a business name. I didn't have a logo, no website. I just had some butter in a few plastic containers that I had given to my mom. And next thing I know, my mom is passing them out at work. And I'm wondering, like, ma'am, where did all the butter go? I just gave it to you like Monday. How do you not have any? And just like mothers do, my mom is like, girl, I gave it to my friends. I was telling them, like, y'all, look what my baby made. And I'm getting orders. And I'm like, what price are you telling these people? Because I gave that to you for nothing. She's like, oh, I just told them to call you. So that's really how the business started to form. I just took the feedback that I was getting from other people, and decided to create something from it, put things in place, and here we have it, LJ Essentials today.
All right, so it sounds like the business has grown over time, and it came out of a hobby and out of a need that you had, and you recognize that other people had that same need. And I think that just speaks to, we all have something about ourselves that is a skill or a talent or a product or a service that can be shared with other people. We just have to figure out how to monetize it. So you talked about the business growing. Can you tell us what the product line consists of now? It started with just the butters, and now what else do you offer?
So, like you said, it started with just body butters, and we've expanded to body scrubs, body washes, lotions, oils, candles, a little bit of everything. But really, the goal is to provide products, as I stated, that are clean, that are safe, that are effective, that make you look good, smell good, and feel good about the stuff you're using. Unfortunately, Black women have been targeted in the skincare industry for products that are toxic, that are chemical, and it's not been safe for us. It's not been safe for our bodies, for our reproductive systems as the years go on. And there has not been enough attention paid to what is going into the products that we as consumers are consuming. So I wanted to change that narrative and provide things that were safe, clean, and effective for people to use.
Well, thank you for doing that. And I have had the opportunity to use your products, and they're fantastic. And then there was somebody in the comments that also said, LJ, products are thebomb.com. So you got there for sure. I want to talk a little bit about, things going from being a hobby to being an opportunity for, real employment. And when we were preparing for this session, I asked you the question, so are you doing this part-time? Do you have another job? And you very proudly said, no, I am full-time employed by LJ Essentials. So I think that is great. Can you talk maybe just a little bit about that journey? And how long did it take you to get to a point where you were able to do that full-time?
It's so funny because growing up, I'm like, I want to be a social worker. I knew it for years and years before I ever went to college. I was checking for colleges and I'm like, do y'all have a social work program? Where are you guys ranked? Are you accredited? Because I knew I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to be a social worker here in my hometown of Flint, Michigan. I went to school, I got a degree in social work, and I got my dream position. I was working as a social worker here in Flint with the youth, and I was doing exactly what I thought I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And lo and behold, there were different plans laid out for me. My purpose was definitely bigger than what I had assumed. So what started as a career in social work, I started my business during that time, and it was really quickly a transition to full-time employment with LJ Essentials. The business really just took off. I started in the kitchen of my one-bedroom apartment, and since then we've been in different retail locations. We opened our own retail location in Great Lakes Crossing. We're looking to open a retail location in Flint in the next few months, and it's just skyrocketed from there. I think for me, the biggest thing was understanding the need to pivot. So while I, in the beginning, thought my purpose was to solely be a social worker, there were other plans laid out for me that I couldn't see at the time. So just taking things as it comes, understanding my journey, and being able to shift as needed. So once I saw that the demand for LJ Essentials was greater than I could, provide for on my own, still being fully employed, I started putting in place the things that I needed to transition out of employment with my previous employer. And from there, it's been a great experience. Definitely a learning experience for sure, because those taxes hit differently when they're not being taken out of your check. When you have to do everything on your own, understand your numbers, know your expenses, understanding your customers, how to, create more profit, everything changes, it feels, when it becomes a full-time job, and it changes from your hobby to the business to, next thing you know, your full-time employment, and then you're employing other people. It's definitely a different ball game, but I've been enjoying the journey 1000%. I wouldn't trade any piece of it for anything in the world.
Well, that is good to hear that you wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And I think you said some really important things about people make assumptions about what it means to work for yourself. And everybody thinks that it's going to be easier, but it's oftentimes harder because you have to do it all. You have to know it all. And I see Laura nodding because she knows and understands this. So Laura, I want to give you the opportunity to just share some tips and tricks maybe with those that are considering making a transition into, employing themselves, whether part-time or full-time.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So, self-employment is not for the faint of heart. Again, You can easily join the ranks of self-employment because you feel like you have a product or a service that the community needs. However, without a strong sense of business, that product or that service can easily take an organization under. And so, I definitely recommend if you are a new business starting out, as a business owner, you know your product or you know your service. What you don't know is balance sheets. What you don't know is treasury management. What you don't know is ACH systems. You don't have that business acumen. So get that knowledge. I tell small businesses all the time, employ yourself a board, not a physical board, but an advisory board of people that you can refer to that have that skill set that can help you point in the right direction. Another thing that you want to have, depending on the community that you live in, and it seems that we are, accessing both Flint and Detroit residents. But just depending on the market that you're in, you may have a wealth of resources in your environment. There are small business incubators in your immediate geography. There are economic development organizations in your geography. There are organizations that we call CDFIs in your immediate geography. All of these are resources available to you that can help point you in the right direction. They offer workshops to help educate you in areas that you need a better understanding in. And then the other thing is, if this is not a skill that you are strong in, again, your skill set is your product or your service, please think about employing people who specialize in this, right? So balance sheets and spreadsheets are not your forte. Get an accountant, not your cousin down the street. They are not certified in that, okay? So get a certified public accountant who knows current tax laws, who knows balance sheets, who knows spreadsheets, who can help set you up as a proper organization that will help, decipher net gains and assets and things like that for you. So definitely consider that. And again, congratulations if, self-employment is something that you're considering. We definitely need more businesses like you in the market.
And I think you mentioned a great point of hiring professionals in areas that you are not skilled in. For me, I'm never filing my own business taxes. That's just not my area of expertise. I need my CPA for that. I need someone else to review my books and my numbers, because what I don't need is the IRS looking for me later because they want their check, and they will send you a bill. That is one thing that you need to be aware of. If you are not paying those taxes, they will send you a bill. And understanding finances on a personal and business level are completely different. My first year in business, I wasn't aware that I should be filing my taxes quarterly and not at the beginning of the next year like I was used to doing. That was a completely new experience for me, but it helped me to have someone who is a professional with an expertise in that area to guide me along that process. And don't be afraid to reach out to those community resources. Like you mentioned, some of those government agencies like the SBA. In the very beginning stages of my business, I used the SBA heavily to just kind of set up some of that infrastructure for my business so I could follow that down the line and use it to scale and grow as I needed to. But just making sure I had someone else who was able to look over everything for me and to, like I said, guide me along that process. Another community resource, using a business coach. My business coach has helped me to grow my business in ways that I wasn't aware I could grow so quickly. Just a nice little shameless plug for Ebony Gibson. Thank you so much, Ebony, for everything you've done for myself and LJ Essentials. But it's important to pull in your community in ways that you can, in ways that are beneficial. I love that you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Another thing, Essence, if I may, that she said, now, she did say that she was engaged in the process, not that she was going to be responsible for filing, but she was going to be engaged in the process. One of the things that I'm definitely going to highlight too is, even though you hire a professional, do not become hands-off to the process, okay? Taking these workshops and getting this technical assistance will help educate you. You don't need to become the professional or the expert in it, but make sure you understand some basic concepts of it so that you know the ins and outs of your business and what is happening with it. So don't turn over the reins to someone else to completely manage this process and you have no idea what they're doing. Thanks.
Extremely helpful tips, and I think that was just really rich to hear. What are some of the pitfalls and things that businesses don't think about, or individuals don't think about when they're going into business for themselves? It's not all the glory days, right? Because I'm sure that LaAsia can talk about, making the product and being up to a certain time in the morning and having deadlines to meet and all of those kinds of things. And that's all of the stuff that people don't see behind the scenes. And it's really important to highlight that. But when I tell you, you have those mountaintop moments, they are awesome. And those are the things that kind of carry you through when things get difficult and things get hard. And Laura, you offer some great advice about using the resources that are available in our community, the small business centers, the economic development centers. They are here. They're already funded. Many, if not most of them, are free to you to use. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in the work. And I would say if you're not willing to put in the work to plan your business, then you're not going to put in the work to manage it on a day-to-day basis. You're not going to put in the work to meet those deadlines, and ultimately it's not going to be a success. So the planning up front saves a lot of heartache later, and utilizing those resources. And I think that's another way to save, right? I was talking with someone a few weeks ago, and they were talking about they had gotten a grant through an organization to have their financial services paid for free for a year. So they get that expert opinion, that CPA gets to prove themselves, and they can probably establish a business relationship long term. So it's a win-win for everybody. But there's those kinds of resources out there. I do want to bring Masherie back in and ask you a question. I'm really curious, when we talk about saving, and we're talking about saving through couponing and apps, what would you say is the most that you've ever saved in a particular transaction? Or if you track it, like how much are you saving on an annual basis?
Oh man, on an annual basis, I could save thousands of dollars, but just because I'm out in the store so much, it's very time consuming too. I don't want people to think like, oh, couponing is you just going to the store and getting an item, because it takes much more than that, to strategically plan a haul. And to know your store, to know how many coupons you can use, to know what their discounts are on top of the coupon. So I don't know. One time I think I just got lucky. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I had this transaction and I paid like $1 and some, and I'm like jumping around the store, and the cashier's jumping around the store with me, and my sister's looking at me like, "Girl, you crazy?" But I was just so excited. But it's just been a blessing to me overall. Like I said, going through a divorce and being with 2 children, you have to figure out how to, manage the money from your income and to save some money, and that was ultimately what my thought process was. Oh, I just need to save money. But this has been much bigger than that for me, because I'm able to help other people save money, even if it's just through my Facebook group or something like that, with putting my hauls up and putting different things up, at the different stores that I go to. I just find it to be a blessing to a lot of people.
I have a quick question for you, Essence, if I may. So in my former days, I used to be a huge couponaholic. So when you talk about it, I can remember the adrenaline rush of, pulling together a haul. It was really exciting. I would find myself in the stores at wee hours in the morning or late at night pulling these transactions off. So here's my question. How did you find these? Are there sites? Are there people? Were you following, other couponers in the market, getting hints of where maybe you could find a big haul? Or like you said, were these strategies that you were, in essence, putting together yourself?
Well, I am in a lot of couponing groups. So when I started out, I didn't know much, just like I said, what me and my nail tech had discussed. So I just kind of went into the store and would like give little hauls a go just to see if I kind of knew what I was doing. But as time went on, I joined like more and more Facebook groups, like the Dollar General group, the Rite Aid group, just stores that I personally loved. Um, and some people will post the actual breakdowns in there. But the Flip app for me has been very beneficial because I can see like, okay, well, Tide is on sale. I'm low on Tide. So I can go on that app and just do any store that I want to do basically. And I can come up with my own hauls and whatever I have coupons for. I just, like you said, it's the adrenaline rush and being in the store at all kind of hours of the day and dragging my daughters with me. So yeah, now I'm kind of, I guess, I want to give a shout out to Ebony White, who actually connected me. She says that I'm the GOAT of coupon, and I don't consider myself the GOAT, but I'm okay. So yeah, I'll just get out there and play in my own hauls and kind of do my own thing. And then I'll also post it in like different groups or my page or my Facebook page just so people can see what I'm doing. So maybe it'll inspire somebody to get out there and just try it. Just give it a go.
That's pretty cool. And, just hearing that there's so much information out there and that people are sharing it, you just have to be in the right groups. And I think when we talk about finances at any point, that's the name of the game is like, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You have to be curious, you have to be interested, and you have to be engaged in what's happening with your own financial situation. And that applies to couponing, to business, to, savings apps, to what's going on with your bank. You have to have your head in the game. And otherwise, you'll just look up and, your bank account is empty. You don't know why. You have a bunch of things that you need, a bunch of things that you want, and you have no clue and no idea what happened. And why wouldn't you take the opportunity to save money? And why wouldn't you take the opportunity to think about how to make additional money? I know that in your work with Communities First, Lori, you've had an opportunity to work with a group of young people and talk about and think about how to support local and small businesses. So can you just share maybe 2 or 3 tips that came out of that for how to support local businesses like LJ Essentials?
Absolutely. So I am all about helping and supporting the businesses that are around me. I'm very new to Flint, Michigan. I've only been living here about a year and a half, and I love it. I've hopefully engaged myself or engulfed myself into the culture as much as I possibly can. But with the kids that we had this summer, they were very interesting because they were Flint natives and they had a lack of history or lack of interest in the businesses that were around them. So we did a little bit of a project talking about how far or how long that our dollars stay in our community. And when we did our research, we found that, and we basically did it by demographics, we found that the Black dollar or the local dollar literally only stays within our community for a day. And we talked about different ways that we could help or change that. And the biggest thing that came out of that was information. There's Yelp. Yelp is a very good tool if you're in a larger city. However, when you're in a location as small as or as niche as Flint, you don't have a Yelp. So you have to really be able to support and push those businesses. And we really talked a lot about how if your friend is starting a business, you should be the first one to go in and pay regular price, not ask for a discount, because that support is for them to reach the next level. So we basically did research and we're still continuing to work towards that goal. But if you have a friend, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have Twitter, put their business out there, share it with every single person you encounter or talk to. That is where you get the most bang. Word of mouth advertising is still very, very strong in the community. So being able to support and push forward and connect with people that you may not even know that you know, because you have Facebook friends or you have people that follow you that you don't even know what they do, and they will in turn follow and share and do other things. So that was really the biggest thing. We're still working on that. It actually is a very interesting project, and we hope to have something very, very special coming soon with those kids in our project.
And so that was a group of high school students that recognized that there were some disparities between, what was happening with buying local and supporting local businesses, and in particular, minority businesses. So they had a chance to go and meet the store owner. It makes a lot of difference to know Lasia and to know and understand her heart, the background story, and to have her be accessible for a product that is a really high quality, good product. You could probably go online and find a good product as well, but you don't know that person. You don't know anything about them. They're not investing in their community, and you're not supporting somebody who has put themselves out there. And you might have a goal one day to do something similar, right? So it's, I don't want to say what goes around comes around, but you're investing in somebody else and hoping that somebody will invest in you one day. And so I think that's just one of those things that's really, really important. And Lasia, somebody did have a question for you. Let's see. So you are growing, and the question is, do you eventually plan to have a commercial setup for, I'm guessing probably producing products, but then also you talked a little bit about a storefront. So if you have a timeline on that as well.
So we do actually have a production facility. We no longer create the products in my home. We do have a space dedicated for that. It's located on Flushing Road. We do offer pickup services there, but our storefront is still in the construction phases due to COVID-19. So as soon as construction is complete, we'll be announcing some things closer to that date on when we plan to open. I don't want to, jump the gun and say it'll be tomorrow and construction isn't done for another 3 years. You just never know.
Well, I'll tell you, if Communities First doesn't understand anything else, we understand construction and construction timelines. So when people ask us, when is it going to be done? The go-to response for anybody in our organization is as soon as possible. Not a minute before, not a minute later, but as soon as we possibly can open, we will. And like you said, construction delays are a real challenge. So thank you for that. And that's really exciting that you've been able to move outside of your home to produce the product, and then that the storefront is coming. So that is awesome. So I think we'll take a few minutes right now and do kind of like closing remarks. So think about what you want people to take away from today's session. What are the compelling things that you can think of that came up in conversation? So we'll start with Laura. What do you want people to take away from today's session?
First, I want to say deaf to the hookup, right? Support small businesses. Believe it or not, hookups are contributing factors to a lot of the failure that small businesses have. Understand that small businesses are exactly that. Many of your mom and pop shops that are trying to survive, and they need your support because they are the cornerstone of our communities. They are the driving force to wealth and building equity in home ownership. So remember that. So takeaway. Budgeting, right? We're talking about all these great ways to save money, right? And by saving money, it then creates an opportunity for you to spend more. It is very important for you guys to remember that budgeting is key, and without a budget, you are spending money frivolously. So remember, there are many cost-saving factors that you can incorporate into your regular everyday life, again, by saying goodbye to your debt and paying it down, cutting the cost of your groceries. Many of us are home right now, and our grocery bills are astronomical because we are walking into the store without a plan. We see things on the shelf and we are picking up. Okay. Something else that I want you to consider is cancel automated subscriptions and memberships. You are probably utilizing maybe a good 2 months of that membership, and then after that, you are wasting your money. Something else, buy generic. Believe it or not, you are spending more money on name-based products when you could probably buy the Kroger brand. Cut ties to cable. If you got kids like mine, they are probably spending more time on YouTube and Netflix, and y'all haven't watched a cable station in months. The average household is spending about $107 a month on cable that you guys aren't really watching. You're probably paying for cable for your husband to get, the sports package when you can pay for that individually. Something else, set up savings automatically. There is a theme that's being pushed to pay yourself first. So when you get paid, learn to put money aside for you first, and then look at paying your bills. If you are an habitual spender, learn to put that money away into an account that you access at a bank, 10 miles down the road if need be, and not get a debit card. And then remember to spend extra or unexpected income wisely. So again, a lot of these cost saving measures look at reducing energy costs. When you go to bed at night, your house does not need to be 75 degrees. Turn that heat down and add a blanket. If them kids walking around in tank tops and shorts, tell them put some clothes on, okay? They still make long johns, invest in some of those. And then remember to unsubscribe from emails. There are hundreds of emails going out from telemarketers with built-in schemes. Sometimes you will click the wrong button and buy something unbeknownst to you. And what we're finding is a lot of that is happening in our community. And remember, every 3 to 6 months, check your insurance rates. As your credit scores change, so does your insurance rates. And that's what I got.
Laura, those were fantastic, fantastic tips. I want to also offer Mashari the opportunity to just share with us, for an aspiring couponer, what would be maybe 2 things that you would say to encourage us?
Wow. First and foremost, don't be afraid to use your coupons because you think someone is going to talk about you, or oh, she don't got money, or this and this. You're trying to save money. That's the ultimate goal. So for me, I had to get out of I guess that frame of mind. And then I guess don't be afraid to get in your groups. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you don't know something. Because the only way you'll learn it is if you ask. And for me, I do want to touch a little bit on what Laura said about budgeting. Stick to your budgets. If you can get into stocks in these stores that you're spending all your money at, do that as well. I took that concept from my friend her name is @Mama Knows on Instagram. She's just been teaching me so much. So don't fall back or feel bad because you have a coupon. Coupons are great. And it's a great way, like she said, to save money for your family, especially now my children are home and they're doing Zoom and they're eating me out of a house and a home. So you better believe I'm looking for a coupon for anything that I can buy for these children, juicy juice and all kind of stuff, to save me some money and to put my money away for, a rainy day. So just budget, going to the stores, and like she said, go in there with a plan though, because when you don't go in there with a plan, you overspend. And don't just use your coupon because you have that coupon. If it's not something you're going to eat, drink, use, at that point you're wasting money. So use your coupons responsibly and wisely, and just hit those stores. And like I said, ask for help if you need it. I'm here. I'll answer any questions that I can.
Yeah, great. And you reminded me of something. Oftentimes we get gift cards because people don't know what to buy for us, right? Make sure you know where those gift cards are. How many times have you been looking through something and you discover this $25 gift card to Kroger that you forgot you even had? That's money that we're leaving on the table, and everybody that is on this panel is guilty of it because I can see it all over your face. And so I have a business card holder now. So when we get gift cards, I tuck them in the business card holder so they're all together. But even that, I set that somewhere and then come back to it. I'm like, we have $30 in Starbucks gift card. When did that happen? So definitely need to use those. So that's just another thing that reminded me of. Lori, anything that you want to share as final words?
The only thing that I would share is kind of touching on the email part of it. A lot of people regret or neglect to sign up for the gift for any of the loyalty programs because they get so many emails. So my only recommendation is that you set up an email account that is just for junk mail. Just like you put, a stack of junk mail in a corner at your house, you can do the same thing with emails, and you can just have an email address just for that. and you only access it when you need something or when you want something. You can go back in and see what they've sent you. That way you're not intrigued or tempted to go into the store because Bath and Body Works is having a sale when you've already bought your Ella-J products. You can ignore that and you can move on to something that's more important. So I definitely recommend that. I have a couple from years ago, and you just use that for anyone that is sending you junk, and it will be your junk mailbox. That's all I have.
That's a great tip. Laisha, what would be your final words to those who are thinking about turning their hobby into a hustle?
Go for it. For anyone out there, I just want to remind everyone I'm a small business. Remember to support the businesses that are in your community and plan to give back to your communities. Right now, I am working with Comma Bookstore. I just pulled up the flyer to give you guys all the details. They're collecting ethnic hair care products in a community drive all month. They're going to a local shelter in honor of Women's Day from February 1st to March 8th. Comma Bookstore is collecting ethnic hair care products. So you guys, please just go donate to the community because it's going right back to the community. Local businesses doing good locally. Please don't forget. And my last thing for all my people looking to save money for the next week, you can save 10% on our website by using the code COMMUNITY.
Awesome. So definitely take advantage of that. You now have a coupon and no excuses. Be sure to complete the registration and survey. I put the link up again. We'll also put that in the comments to make it really easily accessible. We are giving away 2 sets of products from Ella-J Essentials, so you can enjoy that. And then there was so much information that was provided to you today. We are summarizing that for you, and you will get an emailed handout that has all of the stuff in it that you would need in order to take advantage of the information that was presented. I want to also advise you of the next session, which is on February 10th, and it's called Paying Yourself First. So this will give you some additional information and tips about how to make sure that you take care of you as you are managing your finances. As final remarks from me, I just want to say thank you again to our sponsors. This particular session was a part of Show Me the Money Day in partnership with CEDM, and our sponsors are TCS, Level One, and Consumers Energy. So thank you very much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day.